joining us. We had some issues with our video, so I apologize, and we got cut off for some reason. So we're starting it again. Crystal has just a few more minutes to spend with us, so we will go ahead and just pick up where we left off. So again, Crystal is a specialist in nutrition. So Crystal, would you mind just sharing with us again, just really briefly, about some of the things that you've seen with patients about how nutrition has helped with different kinds of health conditions?
Absolutely. So I was just discussing a patient that was just diagnosed with diabetes after having a severe wound that in their foot that was having trouble healing for over a year. And so the goal was to get their diabetes in check. They're a vegetarian, and their main source of calories was carbohydrates, which has caused them to get this condition essentially. And so what I'm really working with that individual is trying to increase their protein intake so a vegetarian, really breaking it down, figuring out ways to supplement to try to get those protein needs up. And now the wound is healing significantly quicker. And so we're actually seeing some really great results with that client. And that's a similar thing that I work with my postpartum patients is after having a baby, and this is in my book, your protein needs increase significantly because you have the size, basically the size of the wound where your placenta was attached to your uterus is about the size of a side dinner plate that you need to heal. Now it's internal, so you don't know it's there. And so I make sure that my clients know that that is there, and ensuring that they're getting enough protein to heal that wound while, of course, making breast milk and doing all the other things that they need to do while basically rebuilding tissue and their uterus and some of their exterior tears. All different types of situations and conditions, different ages, and that's a big one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you're the author of a book, Postpartum Nutrition, which is available on Amazon, and we'll be posting the link so that anyone who's interested in the book can definitely get it. But something that was really fascinating to me was you were talking about how women can sometimes, after giving birth, sometimes have nutrient deficiencies that can start to cause health issues even years after they've given birth. Could you share a little bit about that?
After So that's something that's called postnatal depletion, and it can last for up to a decade after giving birth. So we might see patients with long chronic issues, and it stems from that period in their life where they did not get the right nutrition. And so essentially a quick view of what happens is you're pregnant, you're building a human being. Another human being. Then you have that human being, you lose a significant amount of blood at around 1 liter after giving birth. You have wounds that need to be healed after giving birth. And then during that time, you're also producing milk to nourish that baby for 6 months. So the amount of nutrition, vitamins, minerals, blood minerals in specific, and what Chinese medicine generally calls building back your blood. So it's specific blood minerals, and that are challenging to get on a vegetarian diet. So we see a lot of vegetarians that struggle in this realm. And then you have, back-to-back pregnancy. So you have one, you might have been fine on baby number 1, and then number 2. So maybe you're suboptimal, but you're not deficient. And then you get, you're suboptimal, and it just continues to drain your body. And if it's not addressed postpartum, initially or after second baby, you blood mineral types of conditions associated with a lack of zinc, a lack of selenium, suboptimal levels of all of these blood minerals.
Yeah. And I know that we just have another minute or so before you have to go, and we'll probably have to bring Crystal back another time. But if you could just talk really briefly for like a minute about just other health conditions that you've seen, that have improved with, addressing nutrition.
Absolutely. So when I first started working in the field, I was actually working with child nutrition, and that's actually how I met Dr. Wong. And so with child nutrition, we have significant. Oh, we have a significant. Sorry, I have people coming into my office. A significant amount of that population with disorders with the gut, and then also in the larger population, we have this, and that has really addressed not only gut issues, but a lot of neurological issues associated with the gut-brain axis. And there's a long list of those that I don't have time to go into today, but it is an extremely large topic, and it feeds into so many conditions. It's fascinating, and there's so much to be done out there in that topic. So
Yeah, and thank you. I know you need to go, but thank you again so much for being with us, Crystal. And we'll definitely have to have you back sometime so we can get more into some of the things we didn't have time to get into today. So thank you.
yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank
Okay.
you. Bye-bye.
So while Crystal is signing off, then I'll just be going into some of these other conditions. I apologize that we had some technical difficulties, but there are a lot of different conditions that we see that can be affected by the gut. So one of the things that I would like to touch on is that many people often don't realize that gut health is much more and affects much more in our body than just our digestive system. So people often think about the gut or what you're eating. For example, if you have irritable bowel syndrome, for example, if you have a lot of gas or bloating, or if you have abdominal pain, if you have loose stool, if you have constipation, people often think about that being related to your food and what you eat. But did you know that there are many other conditions that could be affected by your gut? So some of these can include things like headaches. So I have seen a number of patients that have had years of headaches, even where they've had chronic migraines for 10, 20, 30 years. And we find that they actually have food sensitivities or allergies or something that is causing problems for them. And then as soon as we take that food out of their diet, then their headaches go away. I've seen patients who have chronic headaches or migraines who, when they take soda out of their diet, their headaches improve and they have more energy and they feel better. Totally working right, and I'm trying to work through like a flow motion. And I've seen patients where when we improve their nutrition, then we've seen that brain fog, their ability to focus and concentrate and be productive in work or school, can dramatically improve. I've seen patients with hormonal imbalances, for example, women who have really bad PMS, or women who might have something called polycystic ovarian syndrome, that they have cysts in their ovaries, or a number of other hormone problems that have also improved with certain foods. Eating certain foods or taking certain foods out of their diet, and also just working on helping to resolve inflammation that may be present in their gut. And other kinds of conditions that we often see, Crystal mentioned things like diabetes. Something that is very, very interesting is that conventional wisdom has been that people with diabetes or pre-diabetes should use artificial sweeteners. But recent research has actually found evidence that these artificial sweeteners could actually cause problems with the body's ability to regulate blood sugar levels. Scientists recently found that those chemicals interfere with our microbiome, or with the bacteria in the gut, and the bacterial balance is needed for proper digestion. So in fact, our gut bacteria have many functions that science is really just beginning to understand. Because of one of those functions is helping to regulate blood sugar, it makes sense to consider the role that probiotics could actually play in regulating your blood sugar. There's a new probiotic that research has found helps the gut with blood sugar regulation. It's called Pendulum Glucose Control. It's quite expensive. It's $195 for a 30-day supply, but they do have a 90-day money-back guarantee that you'll see improvement in your diabetes numbers, or your money back. So if you decide to try it, I'd very much like to know what kind of results you get. I don't have any financial connections with the company, but I did find the research very interesting. Other kinds of conditions that I've seen that I think is very interesting is, did you know that our gut can be related to our immune system? So what happens when people are getting sick all the time, or people have problems with an autoimmune condition, like for example lupus or Sjogren's or rheumatoid arthritis? I've seen many patients where they are actually having problems with certain kinds of foods, and I've seen dramatic improvement in some patients with autoimmune conditions, or with allergies, or people who are getting sick all the time with changing what they're eating and eating different kinds of foods. This is because the gut is really tied into our immune system. They've done some fascinating research finding that the gut bacteria in our intestines will actually talk to our immune system cells. They actually exchange chemical messages back and forth, and so we have our gut bacteria on one hand and then our immune system cells on the other, and they're actually exchanging chemical messages and talking with each other. And this is something that can be huge in terms of helping with your immune system. If you are having problems with your immune system, for example, you're getting sick all the time, or you are having issues with an autoimmune disease or allergies, let's talk. So I would love to talk with you about looking at how nutrition could really be one of the keys in terms of helping to get you better. And as you're viewing this, if you want to talk with me about a medical condition, then just call or text our office to schedule a free phone consultation with me. What is important to keep in mind that as we're discussing gut health is that my patients and I are in a partnership for health. My protocols and guidance added to their commitment to improving their own life or their child's life enables them to be empowered when it comes to their health. That means they learn how to heal their condition or their child's condition and bring about more health and happiness for the entire family. I want to thank Crystal again for being here. Her expertise is incredibly invaluable and so important in today's world, where there are so many conditions that are related to the gut that are really growing exponentially. So again, if you want to get in touch with her, to talk with her about having a consultation, we will put her website and her information in the post. And we will also put a link to her book, Postpartum Nutrition, which you can get on Amazon. I highly recommend it. I've recommended her for many years to many patients, and her depth and wealth of knowledge is incredible. And so I trust that our discussion about gut health today has been useful for you. Again, you are welcome to talk with me personally about any health concerns you have so you can feel empowered with your health. Again, just call or text our office to schedule a free phone consultation with me. There's no charge because I don't take patients without talking to them first. I always want to make sure that what I do fits their needs. You'll find all of our contact information on our Facebook page, and you can also click on the link in the post. Mahalo again. Thank you for being with us, and I will see you again in 2 weeks. Aloha.